Good morning. Thank you for joining yet another episode of Ascended ATV Podcast. I am your host, Shane Eastman, and today I have a great guest from the state of Maine. She is the former president of the Narraguagus ATV Club, and she has such a great story to tell. She did a great effort of expanding the membership of her club, and has recently stepped down because of other obligations, but she is still very much a committed member of the club and has a great story to share with us today. Mary Young, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great. I just can't appreciate you agreeing to meet with us today and just share your story and tell everybody what you guys have going on in your area.
The Narraguagus ATV Club has about 76 miles that they take care of. And part of it is the Sunrise Trail that used to be the railroad tracks here in Cherryfield. Well, actually from Ellsworth to Calais.
Okay. Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, and so the state of Maine helped to get the Sunrise Trail. And then we have trails that come off from that, about 76 miles of trails that we maintain.
Okay. All right. So when did you first get the riding bug?
Oh, probably about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was, the trail was done and my husband had worked on the trail and helped build it. And he knew all the other roads, and we went and bought ourselves a UTV, and out we went and would ride for 150 miles a day just to see the wildlife and go fishing and have picnics. And
fantastic. That's great. What do you see going on this season?
Well, we just had our meeting last month, and they have new presidents and secretaries and treasurers now. We had lost one of our treasurer was from last year, Harold Stoddard. He was got sick, not from the COVID, and passed away. And he had been in our club for years. So we, replaced everybody, and everybody has new positions. And I think that they're going to do quite a bit of work to the trails and probably expand some of them.
Okay, that's fantastic. So what about upcoming rides, or will there be rides that you know of, or specifically?
There will. So we basically had a business meeting at our last meeting, and we have a meeting the first Wednesday of every month. We hold it at the Narraguagus Snowmobile Club in Cherryfield. And this month, when they have their meeting, they'll talk about upcoming rides and try to get a little input from the members that go and some new members and see what they would like to go see.
Okay, great. Now, what about safety courses for the season?
They're planning a safety course right now. There's one at the high school, and I'm not sure of the date, but I know that we're also going to have one at our clubhouse in June. And our trail master, who is Charlie Corliss, he used to work for the Sunrise Trail. He will be handling all the upcoming safety courses.
Okay, great. People have to be looking out for that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. What's unique about your riding area, would you say?
We can go on the Sunrise Trail from Calais to Ellsworth. And there is so many trails that come off from that you can, you can jaunt down to a pond and go do some fishing, or you can actually go all the way to northern Maine on the trails. If you follow, we have maps that we put out, and you follow the maps, and everything should be marked pretty well. The clubs are really good about putting up signs and telling you how many miles to the next stop for gas, or when you're going to have upcoming places that you can pull over and get something to eat. Or you can just take your picnic, and they have along the trails, they have picnic tables out, and you can just stop and enjoy some little family fun time.
Sounds like a great way to be getting out, that's for sure.
It is. You just can't beat riding out around here.
Awesome. What's one of the biggest challenges you think you face for this year that you're trying to accomplish?
Well, one of the biggest challenges that not only our club has, but other clubs, is getting younger people to join. you have your select dozen or more who are my age or even a little bit younger, and we're out working on the trails and trying to keep them groomed and keep them safe. But we need some younger people to start joining, because as we get older, it gets harder. And it would be nice to have, somebody that knows how things happen and what's going to happen on the trail or what needs to happen on the trails.
Yeah, that's, and you're right. It's not just yours. I hear that all the time. And that's one of my goals, is to really bring awareness to the importance of joining a club and just being involved in the benefits of just being actively involved. It's more than, just the camaraderie that comes with it, and the ownership of it, and just the education, and just makes the sport a lot more fun.
It does. And it's very, it's very important to get the younger generation involved, because I feel that if we can get more of them involved and they see what goes into maintaining the trails, that they're going to respect the trails more. The last thing we need is for people to get upset, owners who graciously let us go across their land. And when they go out and they find that there's been trash left behind, or, they've gone off the trail and torn up some blueberry barrens grounds or whatever, is when we get so that they don't want us to access those trails anymore.
Right. And it just hurts everyone, which is a shame.
It is a shame.
Yeah. What's one of the best and funniest stories that you've ever either witnessed or experienced yourself when you were out riding?
So, and actually the picture just popped up into my Facebook memories a few weeks ago. Is my husband and I were out in the spring and taking a ride on trails that we ride on all the time, and there was a moose in the trail. And usually, when they see you, they'll take off. This moose had no plans of moving at all. And he would look at us. And I actually even stepped out of the UTV and I took a couple of pictures. And probably 5 or 10 minutes later, he sauntered off to the little field that we were near so that we could go by. But he just looked at us like, "What are you doing in my trail?"
Yeah, so you just kind of have to be patient when it comes to a moose. It's like, if they have their mindset, you just let them have their mindset.
Exactly. And that's just what you do. You wait for them to move or to tell you when you can go.
Yeah. The last thing you want is one of them to charge you. That's for sure.
That is for sure.
Now, how long have you actually been part of the club? You said you started riding about 10 years ago. Is that about when you joined, or?
Yes, that's about when I joined. My husband was a member of the club before then and did a lot of work. He's hauled gravel out on the trails with his dump truck and had his tractor out and done some grooming for him in the previous years. But this year we've just been too busy to even tend to any of that. So
yeah. Okay. Which one of the best places you've ever ridden?
Oh, Jay, I love getting off the Sunrise Trail and then going more up into Maine, like going up near some of the lakes. You go up in there, and Sabio Lake, which is off Route 9, the trail takes you there. They have some picnic tables out, and you can go there and just have a picnic. When I take my grandchildren with me, sometimes they might want to take a little dip in the water.
Right.
Yeah, bring, they all bring towels, or we can go as a group. We've really done some good family ventures where they've done a little fishing, and it's just so exciting to watch the little ones catch a fish. If they're not out there normally doing that.
Right, absolutely. Is there a place that's on your bucket list, a place you'd like to go ride one day?
Oh, Jay, we've already done one of the fun trail rides that the group sometimes does. Is they go to where all the windmills are, and it's really quite nice to see how big they are when you're standing next to them, because you always see them off in a distance and you're like, oh yeah, there's a windmill. But when you drive up to them, you're just a little bit awed by the size. So we've done that, but I would like to go a little further up near Grand Lake Stream. It's probably a couple of hours drive from here.
Right. Okay.
That would be nice to do.
All right. Very good. I bet that'd be a blast for sure.
It would be
something to see.
Yes.
Yeah. If people wanted to get a hold of the club, and is there a website, Facebook page that they could get a hold of? Or
There is. They have an Narraguagus, which is spelled Narraguagus. ATV Club has a Facebook page,
okay,
and that's probably the easiest way to get in touch with them.
okay, very good. Well, I'll make sure I put the link in the description down below so they could just click on that and go right straight to it. That'd be very helpful.
Yes.
And
Yeah, they always need new members, and if you can't come to work, at least if you join as a membership, your money helps towards the building of the bridges, or getting people out there to trim, or purchasing gravel for the trails. Lots of times there is a need for people to come and help too if they want to donate their time.
right, I make it a point to at least do one weekend a year. And
Yes,
if everybody did one weekend a year, we could have the most amazing trail system.
we
And
could.
I mean, it's really good now, but it could be amazing.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
if you have a place, if you know of a nice spot that you can get into a lake and take your kids for a little dip if you're out riding, that's always fun to know where you would welcome people to come if you have
Right.
a spot.
hmm Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Mary, thank you so much for your time today, and sharing your club with us and your experiences. Very much appreciated. And let's see about getting the younger people involved.
Yes, that's what we need to do. We need to take some of their energy and put it towards our trails. And just like you said, it would only be a weekend a month. If they could just do it, would be a big, big help.
hmm I mean, even if it's as little as one weekend, even one season, if everybody
Yes,
did it, it would be go a long ways. But yeah, a weekend a month would be just fantastic.
that's
Uh,
right.
but my first goal is let's get everybody doing one weekend, a season, and
Yeah,
then maybe once they do that, they'll realize, hey, this is actually a lot of fun, and they might do it twice a year, and so we'll see.
yeah. I would like to see them maybe agree to do a certain part of the trail, and that would be their responsibility every year. So we do the trail from our house up to the Sunrise Trail. My
Oh,
husband
okay.
goes out and he tries to maintain that every year, so the club doesn't have to worry about that section. So
Right. That's cool.
pick a section.
It's like a adopted trail,
That's right. That's what we need to do.
and then like maybe put signs out there. It's like, hey, this trail's maintained by so and so, but that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a good way to get them out there, and then they can do it in their own time frame.
Right. Yeah. Maybe a weekend doesn't work for them, and during the week, maybe, who knows?
Yes.
So again, thank you, Mary, for your time. And it was a pleasure having you on today. And we'll go from there. You have a good
Yeah.
day.
You too. Thank you for having me.